So in our last video, we have set up, installed Spiceworks and configured it. In this video, we will talk about Spiceworks features, some of the dashboard features, and some of the real-world calls you can get. So let's get to the lab and open that. And right now, this is our Spiceworks 2018 V where we installed it on the server. Number one, you can actually access Spiceworks now from the web browser inside the network. So let's say you are from a different machine logged in, you can type this address in http:// and then you can get to the same dashboard by using your username and password. You can put the IP address also. If you have a VPN connection, you can connect from your home too. So it's pretty easy to access this. I'm going to make this full screen to talk about this dashboard. So first, when you get the Spiceworks, everything like this comes with the default. So some of the data you may just not even use. So let's say, for example, this one, I can remove it to make it a little cleaner. Maybe I'm not interested in this manage engine add-on to widget, so I'm going to remove that. Here we get some of the data that basically Spiceworks went out and start scanning. So I can find more data like manufacturer, who are the manufacturers right here in just one screen. Antivirus, usually in our new lab we don't have any antiviruses, so this basically this could be just the Defender antivirus. So IP configuration, there's not much data here. Hardware age, basically if you have a physical hardware that is getting scanned, it gives you really neat data. The rest is just a different type of charts, and if you're using this for a help desk, then you will see how many tickets are open. We're not doing that right now. And on the bottom, this is an important one too. Usually you in one screen you can see how many workstations do you have, how many servers do you have, how many virtual servers or VM virtual machines you're running. If you have any network devices connected, you can also see that from here. Domain controller, it automatically knows how many domain controllers we have installed. DC one domain controller, so showing it right here. A timeline is another important one. Usually you can see this in the morning, see what changed it, and the rest is just normal widgets, so you can remove some of it, like for example this one. And also you can add more, like warranty ones. You can check the warranty. Here's the IP addresses, new devices. Depending on what type of title you have, like let's say if you're a system admin, then you can come here. You may see some of the things more beneficial to you, and as a help desk you may see some of it beneficial depending on what type of task you're doing. For example, for a help desk person, you may be interested in knowing how many machines are basically almost full, like the C drive is almost 99%. So you can find that widget right here, get more widgets, and find that widget, install it here. It will show up on your dashboard that let's say so and so machine C drive is 99%, and you may get an alert on that. You can set that up, or you can be more proactive and take action about it. For a system admin, usually you can also add a SQL add-ons like that. So it connects to your SQL and it tells you how many connections are on the SQL. If there's a locked transaction, it's very powerful when you're running a site and that is talking to a SQL server. A lot of times you think that a site is slow, and you look at it, everything is running fine, but it's actually the SQL, the database. There's something running on the database that is slowing everything down, even though your site servers are fresh and they're good, no issues, and that's where you can see things with this Spiceworks. Some of the things you can do more in detail. Let's say, for example, you go into this VM and let's say somebody is complaining about a server or something like that, a desktop. So you can actually click here, let's say help desk machine. I can come here and see more details about that. I can see the events that's happening in that. If there's no events in this right now, I can see the timeline, general information, configuration. This is where I say that you will be able to see all the disks inside this machine, and if it's, let's say here, I know something is not right, I can also see the Windows Defender, is it up to date, are there other antiviruses. I can see that. I can see the key information, who was the last person logged in to this machine. I can also see that. On the bottom you can see even more detail about network, what type of IP addresses is using, networking stuff, the domain it's connected to, all of that from here. You can also click on the software, and in software you can enter a license. So it's a pretty nice management tool. Let's say a lot of time you will buy a software and then you don't know what where to keep all these licenses and stuff like that. So you can actually come here and actually add a license so you can manage it. Network share, if it has any, it will show up right here. Cloud services, if it has any connected, it will show here. You can also add some notes for maybe future purposes. Like let's say you did something very customized to this desktop and another person comes in and they don't know, they can actually go to the notes and see if that's done. Documents, you can add screenshots and things like that inside this also. So you can use this as like a full document management system for your desktops, if you're one of those companies that do these things. Other things you can do directly to troubleshoot. You can actually go to the troubleshoot option, and here it will basically open up the CPU and things like that, where you can see if things are not good, or processes you need to stop or start, or services you need to start. You can do directly from here. I can click here, start a service, and that should restart that service. I can kill a process right from Spiceworks, which is pretty cool. You get that, you don't have to log in again. You can do RDP from there too. This is another option that I find it useful in sometimes, and especially when it comes to servers. You can have one machine right here. Let's say if I click on it, I can compare two machines with each other. So let's say I have two servers load balancing and they're running a site, and I need to know now something is happening to the site and I feel like it's one of the servers, but I can come here and actually compare these two and see what changed. It could be a hot fix or maybe an update that just ran on this server but not here, and that could be causing that issue. There could be other issues, but this is a very clean way to compare two machines together. Other things you can do with the tools section, you can come back over here and then you can do like basic things like ping, trace route, NSLookup. You can, if your computer are set to wake up computers on network, you can actually do this send by this. You can actually wake on LAN. You can send this and it will send out packets and turn the machine on. Manage software is another cool feature. You can actually uninstall software right from the Spiceworks, so it's like a really nice management side of it. Another last feature is the rescan. If there's a problem with it, complete profile is like if you want to know everything about this machine, then it gives you a full detail, a very big detail. You can print it out and just take it with you and compare other machines with it. So really nice, really cool features in here. So this is kind of like usually a lot of people will be using it this way to do things like that, and also you will be then coming here. It's also very powerful in terms of like quick searching. You're gonna find here, let's say if I find DC domain controller machine, I can come here and say, okay, you know what, I'm looking for this machine, and it will basically find it. Now they should actually look for that. Usually it will come up like on the bottom right here, but maybe this is running a little slow. My mouse is stuck right now, so I'm gonna see if I fix this. So yeah, see, it's not coming up, but usually this will just pop up on the bottom. But let's say if I search DC here, then that should give me that domain controller or anything with the DC option. So right now this is what I was looking for, but you can see the search is pretty powerful too. It will search everything in here. Okay, so that's kind of like a lot of Spiceworks. This basically comes with Spiceworks, but there's more than this. Of course, if you go to the settings, you can do a lot more in Spiceworks, basically connecting an Active Directory with Spiceworks. So there's Active Directory configuration right here. I can actually put my Active Directory username and password, the admin username and password, and then it will start scanning and synchronize directory server. So you got to be careful with this, because if you do this, you want to make it more probably just one way, like just read the information, but don't rewrite it back to Active Directory, because someone can do a mistake here, and when you do edit a name inside the Spiceworks, it's going to go back and change it in Active Directory. So sometimes you just want to keep it just normal. Don't turn on the other options where it can go back and change things. It can just you can use this information and say, okay, I just want information, so I can look for people and I can attach a computer with the people. So this could be a very good inventory system. With now you have people, with people you can assign a desktop to that person. So this way you can use this for a full-blown inventory system where now the people are there. Now, okay, there's John has computer John 1W7 or 1W10, and that's his computer. You can put notes with him, and that's how you can keep track of how many people have how many machines in your company. So that could be very powerful here. Other things like in Spiceworks you can do is alerts. You can come here to monitor and alerts, and there's some alerts that come by default. Like for example, if any device is offline and that's more than 10 minutes, and if there are servers, if there's a server that's turned off for more than 10 minutes, then I need an email on that. You can also create an automatic ticket right here if you're using the help desk. You can turn it on and off from here. You can change the alert settings from, if you want to make it 20 minutes, you can click on edit here. You can also add more alerts, and it gives you a lot of different types. I mean, it's just it's so powerful. You can even do events in here. You feel like, let's say in your company there's a specific event that's happening, and after that you do a specific task. Let's say 10001. This means that you need to now go and restart a service. You can actually put an alert right here for that 1001. If that happens in that computer or any computer, then it will send you that email. So then now in your email that the alert happened. You don't have to actually go to the computer and find out. So like I said, there's the possibilities of using the alerts is probably endless, because you can come and do a lot of customization here. Spiceworks does give you another feature, like you can, if you have a remote site that's not connected in the same network, you can actually download an agent, and you can install that on that remote site and do some other firewall configuration, and then you can manage that also. User accounts, you can add other people into Spiceworks. So if you add right here, you can actually add other people. They will need to create their own account, and then you can give them access to Spiceworks. And you can see right here, you can even add the social login, which I don't do. I mean, this is really up to the company if they want to prefer that, but I feel like 90% of the time they won't do this. So rest is like attributes. You can change the naming in here. Like I said, this is pretty detailed stuff, and pretty much like if you want to use Spiceworks at that level. You can also turn on and off cloud services. Like these are all the cloud services that comes with Spiceworks, OneDrive, Evernote, G Suite, all that kind of stuff comes with it. Email settings, if you want to change the email, you can come here and change the email. And Active Directory, you can come here and click on the manage applications. So you can turn on and off some of the plugins that you install in Spiceworks. There are a bunch of plugins in Spiceworks that people are creating. These are people that can develop this stuff, so you can go and check for something new inside the the applications, and new help desk extensions and new plugin. You can actually do that by going to the Spiceworks community and see the reviews from other people. Global setting, you can come here and change some of the global settings. Usually I don't mess around with this, but if you see this, if I go to my account, this takes me to my Spiceworks account. So I'm gonna go back right now. Manage Engine is a third-party software that's also kind of like Spiceworks. They also do inventory management system. They have a lot of different things, but what they have is they can connect your AD Self Plus. It's kind of like a plugin type of connection with the Manage Engine. You do need to get their software. You see right here, it says download now, and then people can reset their passwords. You can reset the password for them, and that can be used for that, but that's a different software. We're going to touch on this later on. So if you go back to Spiceworks, that just comes by default. You get this type of things by default in the Spiceworks. So if we go back, so let's go back to the dashboard. You can see right now, you can go to the My Network, and these are the things that you can see. Network map, these are different tools that then you can use. People, software, devices, same thing, but it just gives you a little bit different features in this other ones too. So other powerful feature in Spiceworks is reports. If you click on reports, this could be that one of the questions, like someone may need that report in in a PDF format or something like that, or maybe you're doing like a meeting and you want to show this data to your higher management. So you can actually come here, say, okay, I want to know how many closed tickets are there in Spiceworks. You can just run that report. You can also edit these reports if you know how to use them. You can create your own reports. You can see, okay, how many computers are summary of the disk by any device. So if I run this report, then it's going to run this report and tell me, okay, these are the servers, and the report seems to be like this. So if you go scroll this way, like I said, you have to play around with these reports to get the better reports, but it's very user-friendly reports, and you can also make it more advanced if you would like to know how to. You also can go to find new reports in the community. People have actually made more cool reports or something that may also may benefit you in your company. And if you go down, you see right here, you can install these other reports that people have actually created. Outdated software, out of their software, exchange info, and more. Okay, so so this comes with application, like that stuff comes with application, but you can actually go and find more application in Spiceworks, which is like, let's say, network monitor. This is a different application that just do more detail and also kind of like live monitoring of systems. This is actually very powerful software that I use for servers and also routers. And if the server is down, then it's going to give you alert right away. You can change the CPU, RAM, things like that. If it goes above this RAM, let's say 80%, send me alert. If it goes above 99%, then send multiple alerts or something like that. You can do that. Also, you can reset or restart services right from this application. You can use multiple servers to see in one screen. Like if you want to add more servers into one screen and you want to monitor all of them together, then you can do that with this software. But we are going to do this later on. Right now we just want to stick to the Spiceworks normal application. The one that we use is that will be more beneficial for desktop. Like I said, this is more of a networking guys and system admin guys. They will be using this, but who knows, helpdesk may be doing this too. So another feature in Spiceworks, usually it's kind of like online tools that they provide. So let's go to Google, and if you type Spiceworks tools, you will come to this page right here, and it says network management tools. If you click on that, you can see that it will take you to the same page, but if you come on the top right here, you will see more tools. See all tools and apps. If you click on that, this is going to give you more tools from Spiceworks. Like first is the help desk. You need to install that. Inventory, we did that one. Connectivity dashboard. This is another software from Spiceworks, which is pretty cool. This works in a way. Let's say, for example, you install this on your you added yourself to this dashboard, then they will give you like an agent and a software, right? A small software where you can install it in one office, another office, and another office, another office, and in one dashboard you can see which office is having issue. The way it works is that, let's say, for example, show you in a diagram. Let me erase this. So this is the dashboard right here, and let's say you're managing 3 sites. So you're gonna have one site right here, second site, and third site. Okay, what you need to do is, let's say in reality these are the 3 sites. You will log into that dashboard, get that software agent MSI or exe file. You install it on one of the machines right here, and right here. Now through this machine here, you're going to see that, okay, this site is working. Oh, okay, this site is not working. So 2 things. One, this machine could be down, or if you have multiple setup like this and none of them are responding, this means the whole site is down. So you automatically know from this one dashboard that there's having an issue. Now you can also just cross all of this out, and you can also manage just one site and see in one building if there's an issue with one of the router. You can actually use that for that purpose. So let's say this router has connection to this machine, and this machine, and you have it connected right here. And then let's say, for example, all of this went down, but these are working. You know that this router is down. So see how easy you can make your life by using these type of tools, and that's what Spiceworks is known for, and why I would recommend you guys to get into this. So if you want to learn about all of this stuff, then of course you're going to be taking the Spiceworks course, because we don't want to spend too much time here. Contracts is their new feature. You can actually open contracts, register yourself to the contracts, in this, and you can actually add contracts. Like for example, I added one right here, job skill share, just for demo purposes. And you can add more, and you can set alerts that which contract is getting there. This would be mostly useful for managers or people who are running businesses and stuff like that. So network monitor is the same one that I discussed before, that you need to, if you install this on your you can manage multiple servers and routers from here. Let's click on and see if they have any image on this. So here's how it looks. So this is how it looks. Basically, there's like servers. You see all the data, disk, memories, and things like that. On the right side, you have a networking monitoring tool, and then you get all this stuff right here. So you can actually look into this also. That's another tool from Spiceworks, and that's a separate tool. Then they have online tools, so you can see IP lookup. Let's say, for example, you want to know about this IP address. Is it a good IP address, bad IP address? You can look into here. Subnet calculator, if you want to do a subnetting, you're into networking and you want to build that first network, this would be a nice place to come. Website down checker, you can actually type the website and then see if the website is actually down or not, because a lot of people start troubleshooting, they can just do the simple step right here, saves them some time. A lot of admins usually will start from this right here. If somebody call them that there's a site down, one of our client site is down, they will actually start from this area first. Then we have other things like port scanners and testers. You can install this, run a scan, and they will tell you the ports that are open in that computer. Blacklist check and IP repetition. If you want to know about the IP, is this a good IP address, is this a really bad IP address, you can actually run that, and a third-party software usually tells you the scoring on that IP address, which is pretty cool. SSL checker, you can actually come here and type the address name here and check if this site has a valid certificate, SSL. So you want to make sure that whichever site you're going to, they have a site. Let's see, for example, let's say if we type jobskillshare.org and we do add, and let's see if we get the data from here. So you see that first was 2017, so I had to just refresh the cache right here, and now it tells you that it's going to expire in November 22nd, 2019. Everything looks good. I can even drill down a little bit more. Certificate will expire in this. Domain name is correct. All of that information can be achieved from here, depending on where your certificate authority is. You can see everything from here, which is really cool. Other tools, we have discussed that. So overall, this is what you can do with Spiceworks. Now my suggestion to you would be to actually, if you are using this lab, you can actually take the other Spiceworks course that we're developing and use it on this lab, on this same server. Even if you don't have that course ready, you can actually go to the tools and start downloading it, look at their documentation. It's very easy to use. Like let's say network monitoring, you're just going to go to network monitoring and just download the network monitor and add the domain controller server to it. So I'm just downloading it right now. So let's just do this one part, and this will be a good additional learning for you if you think that this may benefit you in your job. So if you see how easily I downloaded in this lab, I can actually use the same server. I open the Spiceworks monitor. You do need at least 2 virtual CPUs for this to run. This is very extensive on the servers, so you got to make sure, again, the warning that you need to talk to your managers that you're doing this, because it's a scanning tool. It does a lot of scanning, so you need to make sure and you talk to people. So these are the ports that it's going to use. Remember, in this server we use port 80, so we cannot use 80 again, but it's automatically pick 8080. Good. We're going to say next. You can do HTTPS, but we're not going to do that. And we'll just install this software, and I'll show you right now how easy it is to add server and start monitoring it and make your life easy. So once it's done, it will automatically start opening up. But remember, we don't want to use IE for this application or Spiceworks application, so you have to just copy this, and you can also use the server name port 8080, and then that should work. But I'm going to minimize this, and let's go and open this in Firefox. So right now we're going to just open this in Firefox. You see how fast this is, because in IE it was restricted. Now it's just going to open and ask you for the username and password. You will use a Spiceworks username and password, and then I'll show you how to add your first machine to start monitoring it in a live system. So your Spiceworks is also monitoring it, but this is more live. You know, it just looks for everything very instantly. Every few seconds it's going to look for things. So it comes with this little tutorial. I'm going to skip this, and straight right now I can, on the left side, I see server watch, network watch, and online watch list. You can put a site in here to see if the site is up and down. Let's go ahead and add a server. Which server would you like to add? I am going to add our domain controller, so 2.108 if that IP is correct. And here you will need that username and password where you have admin rights, right? So you're going to use that, and we're going to do add device. So there you go, it just went out there, and now it's gonna basically get connected. See how it picked up the name automatically. I can even click on it and see more details, but let me show you how in one screen you can have multiple servers right here. This is extremely powerful and very, very beneficial for system admins or anyone. I mean, you can have a SQL server here. You can have, let's say, 3 load balancing servers, and right from one page you will know which server is having an issue. If the call is that site is down, or site is slow, or something is happening and you don't know what's going on, you can easily come here and check which server is kind of like, you know, not normal. And then when you find that out, you can actually click on it and then see more details. So right now, if I can come here, CPU utilization, I can come down to memory, page, everything in more detail. Unfortunately, they came with a new version that didn't work out well for them, and they had to revert it back to this version, because the new version also had a really cool feature. It has historical data. So if you click on the history, it will record everything, and you can see actually for past 30 days how the CPU was working. And I felt like that was one of the best options, and I wish they bring that back, because that was really, really powerful. And I had to somebody would call me and say there's an issue with the SQL, and I can see, okay, there's an issue on Saturdays, and why is it always Saturdays? And that lead me to more finding out something that I couldn't find, easily. So on the right side, you can actually add a router or a switch, and you can see how many packets are running and loss of the packets. You can actually click on that router, and it will show you everything in detail. Each and every port will show its own bandwidth, which is really, really cool. Here you can add a website, or maybe you want to see if it's up or down. If it's down, then I want to alert on that. So you can have a nice monitoring tool right on the bottom. But you can see how powerful this is, and you can also come here and change the alerts based on your preferences. So if I come here and say, okay, you know what, I want to change, let's say, some of the settings in here, I can go on the right side, and you see I can stop services, I can start services right from here, or I can go to action and edit device monitor. So if I click on edit device monitor, then I can see I wanna alert when it's offline. I want alert when the CPU is loaded this much or that much. I want alert on this. I want alert on application. I want alert on network, memory. I mean, this is what networking and monitoring is about, and that's what makes your life easy as an IT professional. And the more you get into this stuff, the more you get better with this stuff, the more you are going to love IT, and you will want to become you will want to go to more advanced careers, because at the end you're just doing this type of work, so you can manage things very easily. So that was the networking tool, and the rest is, like I said, you can go in there just like what I did. Go to the tools, download it, and use your HQ account, because that's going to be important, and then just run it, play around with it, and learn about Spiceworks. And at the end, when you combine all these tools, You already got the skills. You already got the junior system admin level skills right from Spiceworks, right from learning the whole Spiceworks. You can consider that you have done half of the junior admin level stuff. The rest is some experience stuff, more things you will learn from our platform. Once you combine all that, 80% you're done with IT. You're already an IT professional, and the other 20% is just at work. You're becoming your own expert. Then we want you to come back and teach here. Thank you for this video. We'll see you in the next video.